I don't know why I get like picked on a lot, but I'm tall and thin, so I think that makes me an open target. I felt this way like whenever I see an adult in a three-wheel bicycle riding by, I always want to push it. I would never do that, but that's kind of what I feel like whenever I see that. And so I think that's attributed to like mask wearing. If someone isn't wearing a mask, that same feeling of wanting to pick on that person is definitely what they feel, is how I look at this thing when signs aren't working outside and they're breaking and they're not even making a difference. And then I see something like this, I kind of want to smash it. No, I would never do that, but that's internally what I feel and what I actually think others see when they don't know why people aren't wearing masks all the time. It's like, I have a health exemption. Excuse me, sir, I have a health exemption. I can't breathe with my mask on. Can I not wear my mask while I'm in here?
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, since I was born, I had problems. So I actually was just granted a exemption not to wear my mask, and I was talking to some of the librarians as to who can I talk to about making it permanent. And then this lady walks by and she says to the librarians, "You're doing a really good job." And then she says to me, "Why don't you go get some books?" And then she leaves. I was not getting books because I was talking. And people are gonna say, "You keep doing these jumps, you're gonna hurt yourself." But if this is what it takes in order to normalize anyone who would keep watching after I do that, to put myself in jeopardy to get the word across, I'll do it every time. I can blame signs all day, but one thing I can't argue is that I've been much more attention to detail when it comes to these things, as this sign used to be broken and bent over because it was rusted out at the base, and this was troublesome. However, it's great that I now know that this has been fixed since then. Hi, and the base is like an anchor or like a mine underwater. This is not going anywhere for quite a few years. I had a moment in my life where I wore tight pants, and then it evolved to where I was making myself have like modified skirt. Once again, I was doing this because I was copying the Japanese. So the reason being I'm wearing this damn thing is that this is my ticket to be going into a public library. They're chasing a herd immunity and the cops have their hands tied. I look like a damn Spaniard. For one, actually, I am lineage from Spain. Me go back into the skirt era, which I stopped wearing skirts because, well, I wasn't ready to be seen with like that sort of persona for reasons that I don't feel even more comfortable like sharing, because this is like in a lockdown and you're supposed to be more conscientious of what you say. And what do I mean by a down society? It's the little things that, you know, don't even really mention, but once you do, it seems pest. In college, I would play like a piano because there was like a random piano underneath the stairwell, and I went on to get like some credit in music. Oh, just over here, there was like a piano. It used to be out and about, and now I'll never see that here again because stop the spread to help bend the curb. Stop the spread of germs. So that's why the piano, the different keys of the piano are not going to be here anymore. Second way to destroy your lineage: if you mate with the same gender, that's how the species dies. You see this in animals. With the children, one way to make a down society, you have for career day, men dressed up in clown outfits going in and telling kids to come try out being at a gay bar, a gay strip bar. Parents get angry and it doesn't matter because more of them come in, and talks of just transgenderism and be dressed up and dolled up in different clothing. This confuses the kids, and this is one way to create a distortion that would eradicate a society to being down. And if you're germophobic and well-mannered, you'll notice right away that this is actually an issue needing to be addressed. You can get pulled out of your car and grilled and put on a DUI walk the line just if they feel like it. I might have egg on my face, but I'm not stupid. When you're tall, you can bear out like the different amount of propulsion that you're exerting with your muscles, and you can be safer or go all out. This is what, with guns, I don't condone violence, but what they do is they can shoot to kill, or they can shoot a fire shot in the air, and that's to spook. And so that's like the difference of what they can't measure, like in court and everything, when it comes to like feeling, like the feeling and the pain. But it's cut down below. It's like, what the hell is this? Just about to say something that I didn't want to, but now I feel like I have to. I don't want to be stuck up Schitt's Creek without a paddle, and one way in doing that is not being able to see what's behind the fence. Now, the reason why the deep sea creatures are so different is because they had to be, based off the situation that they're born into with the freezing temperatures. And deep sea animal life, we know more about like the moon than we know about the deep sea. There's anglerfish, and they have a type of them that are like the devil sea. And I think I put this too lightly that it didn't even come across, so I don't want to cut corners. I'm gonna address this head on. The anglerfish, a breed of them, are called sea devil, and when they breed, it's a suicide mission where they attach themselves permanently into the female anglerfish. Yeah, that's done. And that's why their organs are dissolved into them, because they disappear when they go inside of them. Like the anglerfish female absorbing the male in a suicide breed mission. When you see the male seahorse getting pregnant, this is stuff that has to happen because it's so twisted down there with freezing temperatures and high pressures and food being scarce. And when stuff like this happens is like how the fight for the DNA and lineage have to surmount to extreme oddities in order to even be in existence. Another deep sea creature, the seahorse. You might know this, the males get pregnant and they let out from their belly the little seahorse. Sea devil does. It's female, it absorbs its body into the female, and that's how it reproduces. By he gives her the gonads and she nourishes him with his blood, and his organs dissolve. Like, that was okay, but I need one more shot. I'm gonna jump off this freaking log. I just put lactose-free milk inside of coffee, and since the coffee had an espresso in it, it made it an extra strong taste that actually tastes like orange juice and coagulated, and made my stomach hurt. You know, I'm a type of guy who I'm all about let freedom ring, but then when I see like the cops, they're always having their cars on and they're running with like they're not in the vehicle. And I know that they're like virtue signaling that if you take this cop car and try and steal it, you're like going to be in trouble and we're gonna catch you like without any question. And that's why they let it run. And I don't care about them letting it run my gas or the taxes that pay for their gas to run, but the ring part where the engine is just ringing is kind of a joke. But now I get to check out some cruisers where I paid for them with my taxes. I get to now have a little car show. But the what makes the engine start better than others is kind of an important thing to how bells ring, and it's more to be said in that. But for right now, let's take a look at some of these cruisers. tinted. See, the first thing they stop you for is if your windows are tinted, or they'll just look a bit tinted and they'll say they are tinted and they'll pull you over anyways. Just as they pull you over, if there's no smell of marijuana in the car, they can automatically say, I smell marijuana in the car, get out. And you know, that's, you can't say they have a smell that isn't there, because that's their own opinion. And stuff like that is jokes as well, because the justice system isn't good enough to beg to differ, because they can't in the justice system measure pain. That's like a main problem for like 90% of violent cases, where the jury is left to decide, like the Derek Chauvin killing, George Floyd, how much pain was induced. Enough to die, but he was under the influence of like enough fentanyl to overdose 2 human beings, and he had methamphetamine as well as mixed with fentanyl. So was he overdosing on drugs, or what? How much pain was he feeling, or how much pain was he feeling? What keeping him alive from him overdosing, because he was foaming out of the mouth? You know, stuff like this in the jury they don't know, because you can't measure pain. It used to be in the past where whites drank out of a water fountain and black people drank out of a different one. Nowadays, people wear masks and then others tell them that they have to wear masks. The United States has had Indians for who knows how long. They were like tribes all around here forever. And whenever there's like a war area, where someone like is around an area where there's been a war that happened, they mention it kind of feels eerie and everything. And then just another factor you have to know, that America is the melting pot. There's so many lineages of different people from all over countries. If you look at places in China or Japan, they're all the same people. They don't have problem with racism because they all look the same and they're part of the same thing. And then their politics gets into more family then, because that's what they have instead of race division. Or in Africa, everyone's black there. There's no racism because they're not a melting pot. Any case is similar to guilty by association. If you are in a political standing, which is just a belief, and something happens where you think, I'm doing the right thing, and it actually is definitely different, because what you are doing is asking someone to put a mask on because you're scared of not being able to bend the curb. You're chasing a herd immunity, but things are being shut off all around because you are acting like this. This water fountain, I can guarantee you, is not on because of a public health crisis. Yep, it's not going. Now, as good as it looks, I bet the water would taste even better, but I don't have that possibility. And life is like a bowl of cherries, but if you have one dead cherry in the bowl, it could turn the whole thing rotten before you know. And if that dead cherry is like underneath the top surface that's visible, making it not apparent to see, it could be even more jovial. But the famous saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But when it comes to it being you, well, that's a hard pill to swallow.